with all due respect to Jay-Z, there's an awful lot of pictures of you running around in your undies at parties with...
He used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Ashler, Kushner, Diddy, and myself went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan.
Revelation from federal authorities regarding a highly private and scandalous video involving none other than Jay-Z and Beyonce, reportedly taken during a wild party hosted by Diddy. Apparently, during a Homeland Security raid on Diddy's properties, some rather intriguing discoveries were made, including compromising footage featuring numerous beloved celebrities caught in scandalous situations. Speculation is rife that Diddy intentionally leaked this footage to authorities as a form of revenge against the Carters, allegedly due to their perceived lack of support during his legal battles. It seems he's on a mission to embarrass them at any cost. Adding fuel to the fire, an unsettling audio clip allegedly featuring Meek Mill and Diddy has surfaced, courtesy of Diddy's...
Jay-Z's name has suddenly been dragged into a fast-moving storm of rumors, pressure, and speculation that's sending shockwaves through hip-hop, as the ongoing legal crisis surrounding Sean, Diddy, Combs continues to expand beyond one figure. The internet went into overdrive after a viral TikTok falsely claimed federal agents had raided Jay-Z's mansion, triggering panic and non-stop debate. But once the smoke cleared, there was zero proof, no confirmed reports, no official statements, and no credible sources backing the claim, pointing instead to exaggeration or outright fiction. Still, the timing hit hard, because Jay-Z's name had already begun surfacing in online conversations connected to Diddy's case, making the rumor feel less random to many observers. Unverified online chatter alleges footage placing Jay-Z at private events hosted by Diddy, gatherings now being closely examined due to their secrecy, tight access, and years of whispered intrigue. These were not typical industry parties. They were surrounded by strict confidentiality, elite invitations, and long-standing speculation, all of which are now being reanalyzed as investigators dig deeper. To understand why tensions are peaking, you have to zoom out. Diddy is currently facing one of the most intense legal battles ever seen in the music world, with sweeping federal accusations and a New York trial that began in May 2025, following high-profile property searches in 2024 that reportedly uncovered extensive digital and physical materials. With talk of insiders, cooperation, and new names quietly circulating, the question growing louder is whether this signals a much larger unraveling. While there is no evidence that Jay-Z is under investigation, the fact that his name is even part of the conversation shows how volatile this moment has become, as online speculation collides with real courtrooms, real evidence, and real consequences, and the entire industry waits to see who might be pulled into the spotlight next.
Ended for the day in Lower Manhattan. Today, we did hear from 4 witnesses, a personal assistant of Sean Combs, Cassie Ventura's mother, also a male escort who took part in those freak-offs. And then the day wrapped up with a special agent from the Human Trafficking Division of the Homeland Security Department who was on the stand. And when his testimony was wrapping up, he actually walked over to the jury and he was showing them 2 AR-15s that had been disassembled. These were weapons that were seized from Sean Combs' Miami mansion. Also, just as court was wrapping up, he was beginning to open up a bag, but he was stopped. Inside that bag were high-heeled platform shoes. And so at that point, the judge decided that court is going to end for the day. So we'll have more of that tomorrow when he's probably going to begin with his testimony and then eventually be pulling out those high-heeled platform shoes. So why don't we talk about some of the other things that took place today? So when that special agent was on the stand talking about that Miami mansion raid, this was back in March of 2024, and we do have some video of that we can show our viewers. And so how the agent was describing this raid, 80-plus agents stormed Sean Combs' home. They used an armored vehicle to make their way through the gates of his Miami mansion out there on Star Island. And once inside, they seized baby oil, as well as Astroglide, as well as weapons. And so the jury was shown some photographs of some of the items that they see.
What made the moment feel even more unreal was what came next. Days after one of those searches, Sean Diddy Combs appeared on video at his Miami estate, calm, playing music, and moving as if the storm around him didn't exist. Some saw it as a deliberate signal, an image of control meant to shut down doubt and project strength, while others read it as something far more tense, a pressure-filled calm masking serious activity behind the scenes. That's where Jay-Z's name begins to surface. As the tension around Diddy intensifies and online talk of behind-the-scenes strategy, influence, and ripple effects grows louder, focus has started shifting to those in his extended circle, former allies, industry heavyweights, and powerful figures whose association alone sparks headlines. Coincidence or collision, the timing has only deepened the mystery, raising sharper questions about how far this situation stretches and who may ultimately be forced into the spotlight next.
Sen is saying Jay-Z is going to be exposed next after Diddy. So Jay-Z had a close relationship with Diddy throughout his career, and 50 Cent pointed out that Jay seems to be missing after all the raids rained down on Diddy. Jay-Z was allegedly named on Epstein's client list. Epstein is a prolific child predator who would serve up underage girls to the elites. Epstein would fly out his clients and the girls to a private remote island in the Caribbean where they could get away with it and the girls couldn't escape because they were surrounded by sharks. It's been rumored Jay-Z had his own private island where the same stuff went down with Diddy, and we haven't seen the footage until now. And the similarities to Epstein are startling. It's in a remote part of the Caribbean and it has a landing strip. After Diddy's private jet landed in the Caribbean, it suspiciously went off the radar. So users are suspecting Jay's private island is where Diddy disappeared to, or at least hiding evidence. And they are also suspecting that this is where the hip-hop Predator ring
putting it together. Mm-hmm. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I with M, because like with Nori he had communication. He said, yeah, I talked to the big homie. He said, told Jay, he was telling me, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without 50.
I hit the homie, the big homie Jay-Z, right? And I told him to come pull up on me. And he pulled up on me and he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. He said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
Right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
Online speculation is now escalating that Sean Diddy Combs may be engaging with federal authorities, with Jay-Z's name increasingly pulled into unverified theories circulating across social platforms that closely follow high-profile legal drama. Commentators point to what they call suspicious timing, claiming Jay-Z was among the last major figures seen at one of Diddy's private events before chatter about heightened government interest around Jay-Z's broader circle began to spread. Some users have pushed the narrative even further, suggesting the viral, but unproven, claim about a raid on Jay-Z's home may have been a deliberate signal rather than a mistake, a warning meant to spark attention without confirmation. Adding more intensity are unsupported rumors that Jay-Z was overheard angrily questioning whether Diddy had cooperated with authorities, claims that remain entirely speculative and unverified. This has left fans divided, wondering whether there's substance behind the noise or if the internet is once again amplifying fiction into frenzy. While much of the discussion remains rumor-driven, one documented development has added complexity. In late 2024, Jay-Z was named in a civil lawsuit filed anonymously, involving allegations tied to a past event hosted by Diddy, claims that are firmly stated as accusations within a legal filing and not established facts. No criminal conviction has resulted, but the lawsuit has intensified scrutiny, merging confirmed legal proceedings with online speculation and pushing this unfolding situation into even more controversial territory.
Rapper and entrepreneur Jay-Z is accused of a 13-year-old girl back in 2000, along with Sean Diddy Combs. The new civil lawsuit alleges the pair drugged and a teen at an MTV Video Music Awards after party here in New York. The original complaint was filed in October against Combs. It was refiled today to include Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter. Combs and Carter both denied the allegations, with Carter saying in part, quote, "My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch their life story is dressed in costume for profitability."
There are more accusations connected to the case against Sean Diddy Combs. The latest involves hip-hop mogul Jay-Z, who issued a vehement denial. This morning, a blistering response from Jay-Z after he was accused of assaulting a 13-year-old girl more than 2 decades ago. The billionaire hip-hop mogul was added to an existing civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, citing an alleged incident after the 2000 VMAs, where the victim claims she was drugged and by both Diddy and Jay-Z while a third celebrity watched.
The judge has actually agreed that the victim can remain anonymous and that the case can proceed. So there seems to be a little bit more to this case.
Jay-Z vehemently denying the claim, writing, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint. Whomever would commit such a crime against a should be locked away." Also saying, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence." Jay-Z also attacked the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, who fired back saying, "I won't be bullied or intimidated." Busby is behind at least 20 of the lawsuits against Combs, who calls Busby's lawsuits shameless publicity.
Jay-Z's legal team, led by Alex Spiro, acted fast and forcefully, rejecting the lawsuit as unfounded and portraying it as a pressure tactic rather than a legitimate claim, while opposing counsel Tony Busby drew national attention for pursuing older civil cases under a New York look-back statute. That push came to a sudden halt on February 14, 2025, when the case involving Jay-Z was dismissed with prejudice, permanently closing the door on any refiling. From there, Jay-Z shifted into counterattack mode, filing a defamation lawsuit and asserting that private investigators uncovered serious contradictions and reliability issues in the accuser's story, arguing that the allegations caused lasting damage despite never being proven in court. With the original case fully dismissed and new litigation now in motion, this moment underscores how volatile the stakes have become, where accusations, legal strategy, and public perception collide, and where even unproven claims can trigger massive consequences long before the legal system delivers its final judgment.
Jay-Z had filed a defamation lawsuit against an anonymous woman and her attorneys, accusing them of knowingly making up false allegations. The woman, known as Jane Doe, dropped her suit against Jay-Z last month without explanation. Jay-Z says she and her lawyers later admitted the claims were totally fabricated, something her attorney Tony Busby, though, denies. The lawsuit argues Jay-Z's reputation was damaged and his company lost more than $20 million.
How do you feel about everybody trying to put Jay-Z in this mix with Diddy? I've just seen so many videos, and it just seems like so many people are trying their hardest to associate Jay-Z with this Diddy situation. But I don't really see any evidence of it myself.
I don't care about Jay-Z.
Okay.
I sold Reasonable Doubt, so I get no giving. That's just, that man, whatever's going on with him is on him. I just can't spend so much time worried about another man and what they doing and how they feel and how people perceive them. You know, I got my own to be worried about. I got to get this money. I'm independent. You know, that whole situation, those people are in my rear view. Pause. So,
even with a clear courtroom win, the doubt never fully faded. For many observers, a legal victory didn't equal full exoneration, and the questions lingered. At this point, any association with Sean Diddy Combs has turned into a risk rather than a footnote, And for Jay-Z, that connection feels like stepping into quicksand. The harder you try to move forward, the tighter the scrutiny grips. Fair or not, the narrative has shifted, and public perception now carries its own weight. Once suspicion settles in, it's relentless, reshaping reputations long after the gavel falls.
Some rumors circulating, and you can shut it down the second I say it, that there was a tie with Jay-Z had some stuff to do with Diddy, and they're kind of both being, aligned and quiet about it.
They're in a lot of pictures together. So, yeah. What about it? I don't know. I haven't been around them in the last 10, 15 years.
Got it. Okay.
Like, you know what's great? I don't know about certain things because I haven't been around. That's the reason why.
That's fair.
The reason why I pivoted, because the gray area thing, I don't play those games at all. So whatever was going on, I just never even engaged, indulged, or anything. Not even looked the other way. Doesn't look at all. I just left. So you don't see me in none of them pictures.
Has the Fed at all reached out to you for information or no?
I haven't been around him like that. I'm not around him like that. Just because we black don't mean.
No, that's not it. But you guys were partners. Like, that's a part.
Oh, me and Jay?
At one point.
Oh, why would they reach out to me for what?
I don't know. If they want to say, hey, is there anything you want to talk to us about, with what happened? They've never reached out to you.
Nah.
Because they're reaching out to a lot of weird people right now.
Yeah, I'm not weird.
Okay.
They're not going to talk to me. I'm not weird.
All right. So let me ask this other question. Well, maybe within this context.
I hope they don't either. They better not come knocking at my door with that. I ain't got to do with none of that.
So let me ask this other question.
You see, I'm out of there.
For me, class of 96.
See, I'm the only one that can still talk. I'm the one that can come outside. I'm not hiding because I ain't got nothing to hide. And that's what I mean. I can sleep at night.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's
I think
no gray area.
You would be the one that they wouldn't want to talk. They would be worried about you knowing stuff.
You got to remember, like, people that are committing crimes only tend to commit crimes around other criminals. I'm not a criminal like that. I'm not gonna. They're not gonna do things on my watch that I'm not gonna be all right because they know I'm gonna say something. So if I see anything that's unsavory or someone tries me, I'm not keeping that a secret because I'm not scared of the recourse. I have no fear of any of those people. That's why I could say no, because there was no fear. You can't even ask me certain questions because you know you're gonna get embarrassed. That's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And if I lose that fight, I'll lose it, but I'm fighting it and everyone gonna know what I'm fighting about. And I'm not gonna be scared of not being able to get a check from somebody because I'll go earn my own. Or like you said, or like I said, because I'm not worried about what people perceive as a win, I'm worried about being creative, and love is my currency. I care about being able to walk in here with my family and be able to work with my family, do books with my family, go to schools, go help close down jails. Like, I think there's way better stuff that I'm doing, and that's what I noticed. What they don't talk about, what no one makes a big deal until it's too late, is, damn, I'm going into schools 3 or 4 times a week and talking to kids and teaching them how to dream, and I'm going into jails trying to get the recidivism rate down.
One of the most unsettling ideas gaining momentum online is the belief that the searches of Sean, Diddy, Combs' properties may not have been only about building a case against him, but about securing sensitive material before it could be used against others. The theory suggests authorities were racing to lock down potential leverage, private recordings, communications, or documents that could seriously damage powerful figures if released. Journalist Jason Whitlock publicly echoed this perspective, saying the operation felt less like a routine fact-finding mission and more like a strategic move to neutralize influence. A comment that struck a nerve given the unusual timing of the search, reportedly carried out late on a Sunday, a window often associated with urgent, high-level actions. That alone fueled a chilling question: were officials trying to stay ahead of what Combs might have controlled? Adding weight to the speculation is the long-rumored culture surrounding his exclusive gatherings, described not as ordinary celebrity events but as tightly managed environments built on secrecy, strict access, and confidentiality agreements designed to keep everything behind closed doors. For years, figures like Jaguar Wright and Cat Williams warned about this hidden culture and were dismissed as unreliable or attention-seeking. But as lawsuits mount and federal action becomes undeniable, those once ignored claims are being revisited, no longer sounding like wild theories, but like alarms that went unanswered for far too long.
The acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Mm-hmm. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress.
Yeah.
Who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is you. And the boss's boss don't get no. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the you go when you get over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right? I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
If Sean, Diddy, Combs ultimately goes down, many believe the impact won't stop with him, but will spread outward, pulling an entire network into harsh public focus. Those who allegedly participated, stayed silent, or chose not to intervene. As it stands, there is no verified record of any federal search involving Jay-Z's home, and his legal team has firmly denied any connection to Diddy's alleged misconduct, shutting down repeated attempts to tie his name to the controversy. But the internet doesn't wait for filings, rulings, or verified outcomes. The court of public opinion is already active, fast-moving, and unforgiving. The real question now is whether Jay-Z becomes the next central figure as scrutiny widens, or whether the speculation collapses once facts are fully weighed. If online theories about Diddy's cooperation hold any truth, then no one from his former orbit feels beyond reach, as high-profile artists, influential executives, and even political figures are being pulled into digital conversations, fairly or not. What's undeniable is that the fallout has grown far beyond one individual, and the ripple effects are only just beginning to surface.
Diddy is in so much trouble, y'all. Man, the indictment states authorities seized narcotics more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant from Diddy's residence back in March, bro. Like, that just lets you know that they had so much going on at these freak-offs with all these celebrities and rappers, all these icons and elites from all over the world and attending these freak-offs. And they say these freak-offs last for days. So just imagine how it went down that Diddy spot, bro. But listen, this is what it say. In relationship to Diddy racketeering charges, the indictment states that the law enforcement oversees freak-off supplies, including narcotics, more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant in March raid of Diddy's Miami and LA home. As we previously reported, Diddy was accused of facilitating gatherings called freak-offs, during which he would allegedly use force to have victims engage in acts with male workers. The indictment stated that the freak-offs often last for multiple days, and he would allegedly provide victims with IV fluid to recover acts and drug use. Man, they trying to nail that boy Dilla to the cross. And just like I was saying, bro, if y'all think Diddy gonna go out without a fight, it's about to go down. A lot of big dogs about to get scooped up, bro. You feel me? A lot of big dogs like Jay-Z, I know he walking on eggshells. L.A. Reid, Clive Davis. You feel me? We can't forget about Clive Davis because allegedly that's who they said, that's who groomed Diddy. That's who turned Diddy into being the Mr. Untouchable for all these years, having all this power with the police from LA to Miami. You feel me? Like, Diddy was well secured in them areas. And now, Diddy facing the life sentence, you feel me? They said racketeering, life in prison, trafficking, maximum, life in prison, plus 15 years, transportation, and a maximum of 10 years in prison. If you think that Diddy is about to go down by himself, y'all crazy, bro. It's about to heat up. And they already trying to get him a $50 million bond package. Don't be surprised if y'all see Diddy.
Publicly reported accounts say the March 25, 2024 search of Sean Diddy Combs' Miami property marked a sharp escalation in oversight by the Department of Homeland Security, signaling that a long-running inquiry had entered a far more serious phase. The operation was tied to a broader investigation into alleged organized misconduct and related offenses, with agents reportedly documenting a wide range of materials for review, including modified equipment components, secured accessories, personal belongings, and various household items that investigators considered relevant to the case. Officials also described finding a designer bag containing substances that preliminary field tests suggested could be controlled materials, though no final determinations have been made. It's critical to stress that these details reflect reported claims and preliminary findings within an active legal process, not established facts or conclusions. As the investigation moves forward, the true weight of what was collected, how it is interpreted, and what it ultimately means will be decided in court, not by rumor or online speculation.
I had no idea that this was the crazy party guy. Never mind the crazy trafficker guy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But we didn't know. That's what I'm saying. I still don't believe that he's a trafficker. I mean, a partier, yes.
I feel like
trafficker and all that. I just don't know what trafficking means.
Okay, but what they say is that he not only would be like getting large number of women to come to the party, but then he would basically like intentionally get them loaded off hella drugs.
Dude, they were saying that essentially the allegation, correct me if I'm wrong, was they were trying to be like, he was having Young Miami and them and like people like that, like go get and bring him, and then they would
I'm saying
get him loaded.
You take the drugs at your own like discretion. Like you're
not everybody.
Nobody's like snort the line.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
no, they go and they put it in your drink, and then you just consume it.
No, they were putting shit in their drinks.
I would assume.
No, they're getting high together, man.
Okay, there's that.
What's the
But then there's like, but most girls will like take a moderate amount of drugs. Right. It sounds like from this thing that it was like rooms full of chicks passed out. Now, granted, that might be them just hyping it up, making it sound crazy.
That sounds a bit salacious.
So listen, they do little amounts of drugs because they don't have the money. As soon as they go, that's like a cokehead walking in and it's 2 ounces on the table. Today is the day that I OD.
And I've seen that over and over. It'll be like a girl I know, regular chick, and then she starts getting invited to clubs. She starts being in the bottle service. A couple months later, she's like in rehab, or she's like a full-blown cokehead. Because most people on their day-to-day lives are doing as much drugs as they can afford. Most people, if they all of a sudden started making an extra $10,000 a year, would probably spend it on lean and well, I'm talking about like people that we're around. Yeah. But a lot of them would spend a huge percentage of it on drugs. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Way more weed, getting some good lean, more perks.
And just the partying in general, whatever comes with that.
But so then when you find yourself in an environment where you have infinite drugs available to you, what do you do?
When
you're probably going to do a lot of drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I don't blame you guys.
My whole thing is that this wasn't really a shock. I mean, like, let's go over the names: Craig Mack, Biggie Smalls, Black Rob, Shine, not getting killed, but getting, you feel me, whatever he had to go through, getting deported for his life from.
But I still feel like the argument
what does that have to do with?
Bro, like bad luck. He didn't make G-Dep go kill the guy.
Okay, so you don't think the fact that there's this aura surrounding him of dysfunction, how come there's more people on Bad Boy that are dead than Death Row? Think about that. But Death Row is like clearly like the
vast majority of people in the situation you're talking about, though, it's like completely implausible that Puffy would have got them killed.
Yeah, I'm not saying Puffy got any of them killed,
but so we're indicting people for their aura now.
Mm-mm. But the circumstances these people's lives took, which you could see the dysfunction stemming to, that is a lot to put on him. I feel you. But at the same time, like, this isn't a guy that has like a
testimony emerging around the case paints a deeply troubling picture, with allegations describing coercion, control, and forced involvement in secretive gatherings, suggesting this is no longer an isolated scandal but the possible collapse of an empire sustained by silence and influence. What's unfolding threatens reputations once thought untouchable, from Sean, Diddy, Combs' former dominance to Jay-Z's carefully protected public image, as long-buried stories are pulled into the open under growing scrutiny. At this stage, whether a federal search of Jay-Z's home ever occurred almost feels secondary. The real damage lies in the rumor itself. Once doubt enters the narrative, perception shifts fast, and trust becomes fragile. Figures who were once beyond question are now being re-examined, and as secrecy gives way to exposure, the industry is being forced to confront realities it spent decades refusing to acknowledge.
That he was paying to come and have with Cassie and other people. Now, they got some more that's going to come, and we don't know when, but anytime they say they got 6 more weeks of testimony, we know to expect things. So I really don't want to get off into everything, but I'm definitely going to do these little spurts. When we come out of court, it'll be like 5 or 10 minutes until I get ready at the end, and I'll let y'all know everything that had happened at the end. And by the way, I'm going to do a show because there's half a homo cat, these band dudes. Now, I think Diddy and Farnsworth Bentley, this white dude, said that some girls and stuff like that, and then they got a dude that looked like supposed to be a younger Gene Deal. a younger Gene Deal that was doing security with Diddy. They showed a picture up there. The dude looked like he could probably be my son one day.
As the trial continues to unfold, it's becoming clear that this saga is far from over. What we've seen so far may just be the opening chapter. If you thought the story was intense up to this point, buckle up, because there's more yet to come. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned so you don't miss a single update. Now, we want to hear from you. Is Jay-Z truly involved? Or is this a case of guilt by association under the glare of public scrutiny? Share your thoughts in the comments. We're reading every single one. If this video grabbed your attention, support the channel by subscribing, and we'll catch you next time.